What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA trade deadline and reviewing all the trades that happened. It's always been a big trade deadline, like very big. A lot of trades have gone down. But I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not uploading in a month. That's just me not thinking of any ideas to upload. But then I had to think about it, and I was like, there's a lot I can upload about in NBA. Like, there's just so much to talk about. And coming into playoffs, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to upload a lot of videos on playoffs. And I think I'm still going to do some AFL videos, but not a ton, not a lot. Like, just those ones here and there, ladder predictions and discussing that. But I'm going to stick to NBA and yeah, so we're going from the first trade to the big trades. The James Harden, Ben Simmons trade was massive. But let's just start off with the not so big trades. So Lakers trade Rondo to Cavs. So I'm just gonna talk about the two main bits, and this was Rajon Rondo and Denzel Valentine. I think Denzel Valentine, did he get waived? I can't remember. But I think the Lakers in this trade were trying to free up a roster spot, and the Cavs were like, "Oh, we'll have him," and so it worked out. He's been all right for the Cavs. He hasn't been amazing, but he's a good spark plug off the bench, just for some shooting, just for some floaters, some cool assists. Yeah, so that was an alright trade. What's this trade here? Never knew this even happened. Jazz trade Ono to the Thunder for a future second round pick. Well, sorry, I don't know who this guy is. Sorry if any Jazz fans or OKC Thunder, I just don't know who this guy is. But you can see a cash consideration. Cool. Now we're going into the much bigger trades. Still some small ones, but this is a big one. So the Hawks trade Radish to the Knicks. So Cam Radish and Solomon Hill. Solomon Hill is like his 10th team now. And a second round pick. I'll tell you something. I think this trade is good for the Knicks because I like Radish. I reckon Radish will be a good player. But for the Hawks, it's not that good. It's Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox still has some potential, but I'm not gonna call him a bust just yet because he's not a bust just yet. But he's certainly not living up to the expectations as a 9th or 8th pick. Can't remember. Yes, this was a pretty big trade, and I think the Knicks are getting some depth in Cam Reddish, even though they haven't had an amazing season this year. They've been quite disappointing. That's alright. Then Forbes to Nuggets in a 3-team deal. So Brent Forbes, I know him. He used to be on Milwaukee. I can remember in the playoffs he shot an amazing threes, and he's quite good at the playoffs. In the Miami series, he was amazing, and he's been really good. Forbes from Milwaukee, and then after that, he went to the what was it? He went to the sign with the Spurs, I think, and I wasn't too sad. I think he was alright at the Spurs. He wasn't really doing much. I reckon he's a role player. Then went to the Nuggets, and then just got traded to the Nuggets. Bol and PJ Dozier. I think Bol wants to be at Detroit, but he's like, for some reason, I don't know what happened in that trade. I won't show it, but that was weird. I don't know what was wrong with that trade. PJ Dozier, this guy won't even try to pronounce his name because I won't be able to. And a future second round pick and cash considerations. And then we got this trade right here. So this one was pretty big, I reckon. This one was very big, actually. So a lot of people said Clippers just completely finessed the Blazers, and I think that's true in some form. Norman Powell, the Clippers, they don't have an amazing team at the moment. When PG and Kawhi Leonard come back, they will be very good, very good actually. But I'm trying to wonder if they're going to tank this season, or if they're going to just try to make the playoffs, make it a 5th seed or a 4th seed. PG and Kawhi Leonard come back and do something. That'd be good. But Eric Bledsoe, he used to be at Milwaukee a couple years ago. He's gone. He's been travelling to a lot of teams lately. I liked him at Milwaukee. Washed is not a good way to put it, but I think he just hasn't been good for all those years. And when he was at Milwaukee, and I think it was 2020, I reckon, he did get all defensive second team, so he brings some defense to the Blazers. Justice Winslow, not much to say about him. He's a good role player. A lot of people said he failed in the NBA. I watched this video. I forgot who it was, but it's how Justice Winslow failed in the NBA, and I think that's true. Like, a lot of people were saying he will be the next superstar for Miami, and then he was never that. Keon Johnson, he might be a good player. He was the 21st pick, I reckon. I think, and he's been in the G League, but he might be alright, and I think that's the main one for the Blazers, and then 2022 second round pick via Detroit. And Robert Covington, yeah, he's alright. I don't, like they said, they weren't really playing him properly at the Blazers. He might be alright at the Clippers. That's good. This one caught me by surprise a little bit. So the Cavs acquire LeVert from the Pacers. So we will say, so Karis LeVert is now in Cleveland. But the thing is, this second round pick from Miami, let's just say, because the Miami Heat are pretty good, that's like a first round pick, so that will probably be about 32nd or 31st maybe. So that will be an alright pick. But Ricky Rubio to the Pacers, I think he's coming off a knee or an ACL, I don't know, but he's injured at the moment, so not amazing trade. But then all these picks. This was a very rebuild move. Now they have all these good picks. So 2022 first round draft pick, lottery protected. I'm guessing that's the Cavs one. I don't know. Sorry if I get that wrong. So that would probably be I think they're making a run for the playoffs in this move. The Cavs. They're trying to go a bit all in, and then 2022 second via Houston. What? Might be alright. That might be a, guess 46th or 45th pick, so that won't be an amazing pick, but picks are what the Pacers need in a rebuild. And then 2022 second round pick via Utah, that will probably be about 37 and 38, because the Jazz are actually not too bad. And then this is when the good stuff happens. This is when the big trades go down. Those couple trades were big trades, but they weren't as big as this one here. So Trailblazers send McCollum to the Pelicans, and CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., Tony Snell to the Pelicans for Josh Hart. Just keep that. Josh Hart is I like Josh Hart. I reckon he has some good potential. I reckon he was the main thing in the deal. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, he's alright, but I think he got traded for Joe Ingles. Well, we won't talk about that trade. And then, not going to say his name because I don't know how to. And then Dida Loedza. I pronounced that wrong, sorry. But I reckon these two are the main people for the Blazers. Gets that, I don't know if that was kind of just a move to get some young players, and then a lot of people say that it's era over. The CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard era is over, so that was a bit sad to say that, but that's alright. Good things come to an end. And the 2022 first round pick, and then just seconds from whichever team it is. And then we've got Kings gets a bonus from the Pacers. So Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis. I think this was a weird trade, I reckon. This is how you know they're going into rebuild. I know everybody know they're going into a rebuild, but this is definitely a rebuild move. Like to get Tyrese Halliburton, a really young, he's a franchise player, and Buddy Hield, who they were trying to trade, and he got a bit overshadowed. No, that made me a bit sad because they were trying to trade him for some value, and then he's got overshadowed in this deal. Tristan Thompson, who's all right, I guess, and then Sabonis to the Kings. So I like Sabonis. I reckon Sabonis he's a good player. I reckon the Kings, I don't really know what they were thinking here. I think maybe they just wanted to make a run for the playoffs. But they're like the 12 seed or 11 seed. So that was a weird move. And they also got Justin Holiday, some veteran presence. Jeremy Lamb, veteran presence. And then a 2023 second round pick. We don't know what that will be. Then Thunder add Okapolo in Heat trade. Didn't know this happened. So the Heat get a 2022 second round, 2026 second round pick. So that who knows what they'll be for this guy who I don't know who he is. He might be all right. And then we've got Jazz acquire Nikhil Alexander-Walker in a 3-team deal. So we've got Jazz get Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and this guy can't pronounce his name. And then the Blazers get Joe Ingles, Elijah Hughes, second round pick, and then the Spurs get this guy. Probably can't pronounce his name either. Can't pronounce anyone's name. Second round pick via Utah. Yeah, so this was. Let's just talk about these two. Is quite big, not really. Let's just talk about this. Like this is the main bit here. They say 3-team deal, but this is the big bit here. Okay, so Nikhil Alexander-Walker and this guy. They got traded to Blazers. This move was not very smart because in the CJ McCollum deal, this guy was probably the second. He was questionably the second biggest piece in that deal, and then they just traded him away for a Joe Ingles. Like not washed up, but ACL, coming off an ACL. And then it's coming back, and then he might just leave in free agency. I don't know what this trade was. This trade was weird to me. And then Elijah Hughes, who is all right, I guess, second round pick via Utah. So that was a very, very dumb trade for the Blazers. And then this is like the third time Bol Bol's been traded. So Magic get Bol Bol, PJ Dozier for a future second round pick and cash considerations, and then Celtics get 2023 second round pick. Yeah, that's an alright trade. Not too big. Raptors trade Dragic to Spurs, Thaddeus Young, and Drew Eubanks for a 2022 second round pick for Goran Dragic and a 2022 first round pick. Yeah, I reckon this is a good trade for the Spurs. I'm kind of just like, why? Like, why did they do this deal? But it's alright, I guess. Suns deal for Aaron Holiday. Cash consideration, Suns get Aaron Holiday. Cool. Craig returns to the Suns. So Jalen Smith in another very rebuildy type of move. So Torrey Craig's now on the Suns, and then Pacers get a young, maybe an alright player in Jalen Smith. And then Hornets acquire Harrell from Wizards. This was a weird trade. I think. I reckon the Hornets won this deal because they got Vernon Carey Jr., who is alright. Ish Smith. He's not amazing, but he's not bad. And then a 2023 second round pick, Boston's pick via Charlotte. That's a pretty big pick right there. Not big as in it will be good, but a lot of teams in that pick. Yeah, so now that's also another really good player off the bench as Montrezl Harrell. And then Milwaukee Bucks, they did a trade. I like this trade. This trade confused me a bit at the start. I was like, what is this trade? And then I realized it. So the Kings get Dante DiVincenzo, who before his injury, he was bowling. He was good. He's a good player. I like him. Josh Jackson, who's alright. Trey Lyles, who's alright. And then David Mochora, and then second round pick via Detroit, and then the Pistons get Marvin Bagley, who's pretty good. No, he's a bit of a bust, Marvin Bagley. He's not pretty good. Sorry, I messed that up. But I know some Pistons fans. They were quite happy to get him, so that's all right. And then the Clippers get Rodney Hood, Semi Olajuwon, and this guy, I'm probably not going to try to pronounce his name because I would not get it right. So I was sad to lose Dante because I like Dante and he was always a good player for Milwaukee. I think he was starting at one point, but I also liked us getting Serge Ibaka. I really liked that because we need a big man. We have Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez. He's injured, and I don't think he's injured anymore, but he's never really that good. And he's a bit old now. He's a bit older now, and so Serge Ibaka, he's just a nice big man. So I like that trade from Milwaukee. I think that was a really win-win trade for all of the teams. And then returns to the Celtics. So Daniel Tice, Dennis Schroeder, Enes Freedom, and Bruno Fernando. I think he got waived. One of these guys got waived. Yeah, Rockets, I reckon that was a weird trade, but they got Dennis Schroeder, so that's alright. And then Celtics acquire White from the Spurs. I really like this trade. I think this was a really good trade by for the Celtics. He's Derek White, he's a good player. He adds a lot of depth to the team, and I think that's what they want. And Josh Richardson, he's been alright. I think he's been alright. We'll have a look at Josh Richardson averaging on the season. Sorry, guys. Just want to have a look. He's averaging 9 points, two rebounds, 1 assist. That's not too amazing, but that's alright. Romeo Langford, I think he was the 14th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. And then a 2022 first round pick. And then a 2028 first round pick swap. So the trade. This trade really caught me by surprise. I thought Porzingis may have been traded, but this was not the right package to get from Spencer Dinwiddie next to Luka. That might work. Davis Bertans, his contract, it's not amazing. No, his contract's pretty bad, actually. That's a good trade by the Wizards, no, not for the Mavericks. But Porzingis, he's an awesome player. I really like him. I know he has these moments where he's not amazing. What's Porzingis averaging on the season? Yeah, 19 points per game. That's not bad. 7 rebounds and 2 assists. But I reckon he's a bit surprised now that he's on He's at the Wizards. That just doesn't seem right. Porzingis at the Wizards. I mean, it's a good trade, but it just feels weird knowing that trade's done. And then here's the big trade. We're going to talk about this trade very briefly because this is massive. James Harden and Paul Millsap goes to the 76ers. And then the Nets get Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Drummond, a 2022 first-round pick, and a 2027 first-round pick. Okay, I know this pick has a really weird protection on it, and then I think this trade was a win-win, and I'll tell you both sides of this trade, what I think. I reckon the Nets get a ton of depth in this trade. Now they have Ben Simmons, who's not very depthy, he's more of a star, but he has these moments where he's not amazing. And then Seth Curry, who also adds awesome depth to the team, and that also says, Joe Harris, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, that's such good three-pointing. They have a really good three-point team there. And then Andre Drummond, who's alright. He's a good backup. And so I like this trade for both teams. And then James Harden to the 76ers. That's an unstoppable duo right there. Joel Embiid and James Harden. Paul Millsap. What's Paul Millsap averaging? Sorry, I just want to have a look at this. Yeah, he's averaging 3 points per game. Yeah, okay. I won't worry about him then. Yeah, so I reckon this was a good trade for both teams. That was the big trade. Sorry, I kind of speeded it through the end. I didn't want it to be too long. But thanks for watching, guys. That's a weird type of video that I had to make, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Might be uploading every 3 days to 4 days, so yeah. Good. Bye!